Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jemima. This is the part 2 of the series, what you should know before making the decision to go to school from home. In the part 1, I talked about the pros, the advantages of going to school from home based on my experience. If you've not seen it, I'll put the link up for you. Here, we're going to talk about the disadvantages of going to school from home. With all that said, let's get started. Of course, with all these pros, there will definitely be cons. So, the first con of staying at home, of course you guys know, house chores. God, especially for the females that are watching this video, this one will kill you and you come back to life again. House chores, they are numerous, and if you have a mom like mine, the fact that you're in school is not an excuse for you to escape house chores. My mom will always say, you're not the first person to go to medical school. It's not because you're in medical school I will not send you on errands. You will go on those errands. House chores is one very huge downfall of going to school from home. Another con is errands. Oh my God, I'm dressed up ready to go out and my mom will be like, don't worry, just 1 minute, you will finish doing, don't worry, it's not going to take you up to 10 seconds, just help me wash those leaves, or just help me slice those leaves. It's not, mommy, I'm already late now. I'm 5. No. It's only seconds. It will only take you seconds to finish doing it. My dear, it's a con actually. Another con is comfort too. I know I mentioned comfort under the pro. Now I'm mentioning it under the con. It depends on the way your family house is built. For some people, their family house is not as comfortable as their off-campus accommodation or as their hostel. If you're staying in a family house where you're sharing your room with like 6 other of your siblings and the drama is plenty, you might want to consider staying off camp, or you might want to consider staying in the school hostel. Another thing is no privacy. It still boils down to comfort. If you're staying in your family house, your mom or your dad can just barge into your room with just knock and open, or your siblings can just barge into your room at any time. It's relative though. For me, my siblings don't just barge into my room, they knock before they enter. It all depends on your relationship with your siblings, but for some people, you can be sharing a room with 4, 5, 3, 2, 1 of your siblings, and you have practically no privacy if you're staying at home. Like I always say, it's relative. It depends on the kind of living condition that you are in at your family home. Another thing is harassment from your parents. God, as far as you have Nigerian parents, it's a normal thing to get harassed by your parents. You always hear what's like when you're not bringing any money to the house, all you do is to eat. You get so many snarky statements from your parents. You get insults and some kind of words from your siblings. You have to be prepared for stuff like that. That's just one of the cons of staying in your parents' house. You definitely get harassed. There will be no respect from your parents, from your siblings, if you're staying at home to go to school. They will see you finish, so it's something that you should put into consideration. Another thing is, it is mentally draining to go to school from home. Like I said earlier on, kind of words that you hear your parents say, the bickering, the quarrels, the shouting, the house chores, the errands. At a point, it could become so overwhelming to you that it would drain you mentally. I know what I passed through during the 2020 COVID-19 lockdown holiday. It was not easy, and not just me. I know so many students had a mental breakdown because of this issue. So going to school from home, you have to be prepared for everything mentally draining that comes with it. Another thing, of course, that I should mention is restrictions. I don't know about you. It depends on your family. So different families have their own restrictions. It could be that, don't cook your own separate food. You must eat what everybody is eating. Like in my family, if they cook a pot of food, if you don't want to eat it, that's your business. You can't go and start saying because they cook what you don't like, you go and cook your own. No. It is a taboo in my family to do that. So if you are going to school from home, you should be ready for this kind of restrictions. And of course, this now brings me into another thing, which is the rules and the curfew that comes with staying at home, going to school from home. The rules are many. Don't walk into the house with your shoes. Don't bring in friends. Curfew at 6 p.m. You should be at home except you're going to church. On Sunday, if you're not going to church with everybody, you are wrong. If we're all driving down to church at 7:30 a.m., you should drive to church at 7:30 a.m. If we have live service at 6 p.m., we must all be seated by 6 p.m. to join in the live service. Like the rules with staying in your parents' home, I will always say it's relative. It depends on your own family. The rules are many. So you have to be prepared for this kind of rules if you're staying at home to go to school. And of course, another thing with staying at home is distractions. You cannot just make plans at all. You could be studying something and is that moment that you understand so much that your mom will start calling you. And I don't know about your home, but in a typical African home, if your parents call you once and you don't respond, they assume that okay, maybe you didn't hear. But by the time they call you the second time, they call you the third time and you don't respond, they will gather the whole village people for meeting on top of your head. It's a very huge distraction studying from home. Another thing about studying from home is finding a quiet place to study. Oh my God, that is the moment that your brother wants to play music, or your sister wants to watch TV, or your mother is watching one particular preaching channel, or that is when your dad wants to watch sports. Or me, we are all sharing the house. The highest you can do is, oh please, I want to do this. Or like imagine how I suffered when it was time for me to shoot YouTube videos during the Christmas period that I was at home, I had to do peace offering. I had to literally knock everybody's door to beg that, oh please, I want to shoot YouTube video, please be quiet for only 10 minutes or only 20 minutes. Like, it was like frustrating. So you have to be prepared for this. The distractions are so many. If you are the type that like studying in a quiet environment, you might want to reconsider staying at home, although it's relative now. If you're an only child or if you have mature siblings that are not at home, you are lucky because you do not have to suffer this. Another thing, of course, is that you will be far away from information. There are times when you will definitely miss classes because, oh, you were not online to check your group chat, or you could not pick your call from your friends, or your friends called you and your phone was switched off, or there was no network for them to reach out to you, one thing or the other. You will definitely be far away from information if you want to stay in your parents' home to go to school. And then another thing is family drama. Oh my god, if you're going to school from home, be prepared for family drama, fighting with your siblings, getting insults here and there from your siblings. For those who are from homes where their parents fight, you have to keep on facing it, seeing your parents quarrel every day, seeing your parents fight every day. Or if you have extended family in your house, you have to experience that family drama if you're going to school from home. And of course, it's not good for your mental health if you have to deal with this while in medical school. Of course, another problem with going to school from home is that you cannot receive friends freely. Although it depends on your family, it depends on the kind of rules that you have in your family. But my dear, in my family, you get some kind of friends, you know, free bring come house. Like, you get some kind of people, no, just try am. What I'm trying, for those who don't understand PG, I'm just trying to say, in my family, there are some kind of friends that you cannot bring to the house. There's a limit to the kind of friends you can bring to the house. There's a limit to the number of friends you can bring to the house. There's a limit to a lot of things that you can do with your friends. In my house, once it's 6 p.m. and my friends are around, my mom will come and tell them, oh my dear, hey, yeah, you have stayed, 6 p.m. your mom will be waiting for you, come and be going. That's something that I experienced in my first degree. I mean, right now I know better than to bring friends to the house. I don't bring friends to my home. But as at then, if you have to bring friends to the house, be prepared for rules, be prepared to receive interruptions from your parents. Imagine you're with your friends and your mom is like, hey, Rina, come and pound this pepper for me, or Rina, come and blah 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 blah. Be prepared if you want to go to school from home. One more thing I forgot to add is that you should be prepared to be monitored. I don't know about your family. If your parents are anything like my parents, you will be monitored all the way from phone calls that you make, the places you go to, the friends you keep. They would want to know everything. And if you're a private person, you may find this irritating. And the last but not the least is that you do not have a choice. If your parents decide not to put on generator for that day, even though your battery is very low, you have to probably go outside to look for somewhere else you can charge your phone, because nobody is putting on that generator for you. But if you're staying alone, you can easily say, okay, by 8 p.m. I have a meeting, and because of that I'm going to put on my generator. Or you can decide to do whatever it is that you want to do at whatever time. But my dear, if you're at home and your parents say they're not putting on the gen, nobody is turning on that generator. And you can't blame them. I mean, come on, it's their house. If you want to do whatever you want, go get your own house, in my mommy's words. Of course, if there's anything I've forgotten to say while editing this video, I will certainly add it. I remain your girl, Jemima. Bye.